All right, good evening, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kelley. I'm the best man. And first of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming. This is probably one of the biggest nights of my life, because after all, I am the best man. But I'm a little confused about that title. If I'm the best man, then why is Christina marrying Danny? Well, once I got all that figured out, I realized I had to give a speech. So in order to come up with some ideas, I went straight to the internet. It didn't take long before I ended up on YouTube, where I found a lot of great videos. But after a few hours, I remembered I was supposed to be searching for speech ideas. So anyway, Dan and I have been best friends forever. We met each other in kindergarten and grew up and were neighbors all the way through high school. Everything that I think that I have good in me, I believe I have gotten it from Danny because he's been so powerful in my life. If I could use one word to describe Danny, it would be terrified, because he just got married. No, it would be talented. Danny's by far the most talented person I know. You name it, if Danny tries it, he'll be good at it. Take sports, for example. Growing up together, we spent every spare minute outside playing every sport imaginable. And no matter how good I was at it, or how much I practiced, he always kicked my butt at it. Kind of sucked. In the 6th grade, we even learned how to ride unicycles together, which is a pretty unique talent, and I thought I was pretty good at it, but nothing compared to Danny. I'd go a couple feet, get excited, fall over, then go a couple more feet second time, be excited again, look up the street and Danny's doing donuts on his unicycle. This wasn't fair. Perhaps another talent of Danny's is hurting himself. He's injured himself more than anybody I know. I don't know who in this room has seen him naked lately, but he's got a scar and a story for every body part. Oh, and Christina, if he doesn't dance very well tonight, it's because he's got a hurt ankle, so give him a break. All right, now in order to pay for that beautiful wedding ring you see on Christina's hand, Danny worked for the family business carrying drywall. You might not think that carrying drywall takes talent, but that's because you haven't seen Danny do it. This kid can carry 4 sheets of drywall, weighing like 300 pounds, up a spiral staircase in the dark with one hand while he's texting Christina in the other hand. That's talent. But perhaps Danny's greatest talent is being the best friend. He's always been there for me. Been the one I go to when I need encouragement, when I need to laugh or just have fun. He's definitely like the brother I've never had. I won't cry. And after seeing Christina tonight, I've discovered a new talent of Danny's. He's picked out the most beautiful bride that I've ever seen. Right? I think that all the men in this room will agree with me when I say that tonight is a sad, sad night. Because another gorgeous, beautiful woman is now on the market. And I think that all the women in this room will agree with me when I say that tonight is just another night. So let me tell you guys the story. I don't know who knows this, but let me tell you guys the story of just how Danny and Christina met. I'd like to take a little bit of credit for this. A couple of years ago, Christina and I actually met first through a mutual friend. We started talking, hit it off, and eventually went out on a few dates. Yeah, she picked me. One night we went out on a double date with Danny and a friend of his at the time. I was pretty nervous about introducing my best friend to Christina. I was pretty nervous about introducing Christina to my best friend, because you always want your best friend to approve of the girls you like. I'm guessing I got your approval. So anyway, we went bowling. All 4 of us went bowling. We had a good time. After bowling, we were hanging out in the parking lot. I don't know if you guys remember this night. I'm sure you do. After bowling, we hung out in the parking lot. And out of the blue, we were by Danny's truck. Out of the blue, Danny pulled out a golf club. That's why he's playing golf up there. That's what he does all the time. He pulled out a golf club on a date. He took out a lighter. He taped the igniter of the lighter down so the flame would stay on, and he set the lighter on the ground. He took one hard whack at the lighter, causing it to blow up right before our eyes. It was a pretty cool trick. Oh yeah, he did it, yeah. Pretty cool trick, but I'm guessing this must have been the moment that Christina started falling for Danny. I'm going to have to use that next time. So the second time Danny and Christina saw each other was a crazy night. we'll just call it another double date. We're all four hanging out down, and this was a different girl, by the way, that he was with. We were all four hanging out in the basement. And I don't know if these two know this, but there was a moment when these two were playing darts together, and I was just sitting back in the corner, and I was watching these two interact, and you could kind of tell they had a little bit of chemistry. And as I was watching this, I thought to myself, well, great, here we go again, he's going to beat me at another sport. It turns out my thoughts were correct. Christina and I started seeing less and less of each other, and as respectfully as possible, Danny and Christina started hanging out. Yep, I lost the girl, but I guess giving this speech is my consolation prize. But everything happens for a reason. Danny and Christina were much better for each other. I like to think that the reason we're here tonight is because the Danny and Christina that I introduced to each other are a far cry from the Danny and Christina you guys see here tonight. 2 years ago, I won't get into details, but 2 years ago, we'll just say that Christina's favorite song was I Kissed a Girl and I Liked It by Katy Perry. And it wasn't too uncommon to find Danny downtown every weekend using a different name and a different story trying to get girls' attention.
Come on!
Yeah, they were both very different than they are now, but they were perfect for each other. Neither of them wanted to fall in love. They were crazy, young, and just wanted to have a good time. But that didn't last very long. Before long, they were inseparable. I remember one month over that summer when they met that they spent 28 days together, seeing each other every day. They were definitely falling in love. Now I lost my spot. All right. When the fall came and summer ended, everybody that knew them kind of expected their little fling to just die off, but it didn't. Danny moved from Colorado out to California, and Christina followed him. Then Christina moved to Utah. Danny moved back to Colorado. Christina moved out to D.C., followed by Danny moving out to D.C. And now most of you guys know that they're moving out to Utah together. And through all of this, their love for each other has only gotten stronger. I was actually talking to Cathy last night, and he said that they've grown up together. They're, like I said, 2 years ago, way different than they are now. So definitely, they're different people, but they've been the same with each other from beginning to end. Now, about a year ago, Danny and I were talking about this very night, through text, of course. And we were talking about this night and about him and Christina. And he told me that Christina's the girl that he's always hoped for. Well, Danny, you're the best friend and the brother that I've always hoped for. And I know you will be the husband and the father that Christina has always hoped for. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in raising your glasses to the bride and groom. May your future together be as bright as the smile you put on my face. All right, and now we have our maid of honor, Kat.
All right. Well, Kelley he said he wouldn't cry, but I can't make any promises. Whew. Thank you all for coming. First of all, we were walking in with Mike and we were looking around. We're like, well, this is really fitting that we're here. We grew up as a military family and moved around quite a bit. And having a wedding reception on a military base is fitting for our family. And it kind of brings back a lot of memories. And a lot of memories have flown back to my mind as I've been preparing this speech for my little sister. So to my little and only sister, I'm still very convinced that the reason you were born was because of me. As a 3 or 4-year-old, surrounded by 3 brothers, as you can imagine, all I wanted was a little sister. I remember when Mom got pregnant. It was no accident. It was an answer to my prayers. You're welcome, Danny. I remember sitting on Mom's lap and talking to her belly. Talking to my little sister. Even though no one knew you were a girl until the day you were born, I was convinced and I was right. Finally, I had someone on my side and on my team, or so I thought. The battles began all too quickly. My brothers will attest to that. The battle of sharing my clothes, my room, my toys, my time, my friends. I had a little shadow wanting to do everything with me. And of course, she was the favorite among the family, She became Matt and Mike's little darling from the time she was very little. But soon enough, that little darling turned into a little dirtle. What is a dirtle, you may ask yourself? This is the definition of dirtle. She became the definition of dirtle. She is dirtle. She's the only dirtle. Some people would often come up to me and say, "What's her name? Turtle?" I would think to myself, "No, not Turtle. Can't you see she's such a dirtle? She's just Dirtle. I don't know." So from now on, I will refer to her as Dirtle because I rarely call her Christina. I remember, actually, before I go into this, I just wanted to go back. One thing that is very fitting as a military family, moving a lot. We've traveled a lot in, I'll call the Big Blue, our caravan. And we drove across the country once, all too many times. Dirtle sitting right behind the captain here, kicking his chair in the back, and my dad grabbing her leg to get her to stop, and then Mike in the back, and Matt and Guillaume antagonizing her to start a fight with me, and of course she would. And so this hair is very fitting today, as you know, she'd be yanking. That's kind of the direction my hair took, and so this is kind of a representation of Turtle and I growing up, is the cat fights we always got into. I also remember once I was in my room and I heard outside Dirtle yelling out orders to someone. So I looked outside the window and there she was with a little neighbor friend just stomping her feet, and the little girl following her around, and she was watching every little move you were making. But it was then that I realized that you were a leader, a positive role model for those around you. Your friends and those around you look up to you. And at that moment, small by small, I started to look up to you too. Another thing that I just wanted to add in here that is a fond memory of Dirtle growing up. Sundays usually are quiet days, you would think. We go to church, we come back, and we'll have a nice family meal. But these were the days that Dirtle and Guillaume, her older brother, would be running around the house, yelling and screaming. I'm not kidding, like not 5 minutes, like 3 hours worth of like chasing each other. But Dirtle was always the one on top, just nailing. So Danny, watch out. You already know this though. But something happened over the years to our little sister cat fights. Somewhere along the way, we began to talk and understand each other a little more. I remember going off to college and feeling like a part of me was missing. It was then that I realized that you were not only my sister, but my best friend. I couldn't wait to come home over break to tell you all the exciting stories from college. Mostly about boys, of course. I wanted you to know that life was great, and mostly that what we were taught growing up about our beliefs were true. If there was anything I wanted more for you, was an understanding of the love that our Heavenly Father has for you, and the love that our family has for you. Last year, Dirtle moved to Utah. My husband and I have been in Utah for the past 3 years. We just graduated, and a few of us siblings are living there as well. Dirtle would pop by, all the time, yeah. She would come over all the time, but it was a lot different. I was no longer trying to get rid of her. I loved the random and many phone calls as you were coming home from work saying, "Don't eat, I got some Subway," or "I got out of work early." She always got out of work early, by the way. "Do you want to go shopping?" In fact, some days Blake and I, probably Mike and Penny too, and Izzy and Benson, would just be sitting around waiting and waiting for Dirtle to pop by to add a little excitement to our home. There are many things that I love about you, Dirtle. The list can go on. Your enthusiasm and ability to laugh at everything, your thoughtfulness and willing to help out in many ways you can, especially as a favorite aunt in our family, and I'm sure Mike and Penny can agree with this. Your desire to do what is right and to become a better person, your drive and motivation to achieve great things. Of course, your organizational skills, and your compassionate heart and love for those who are less able. It is an incredible gift that you have to care and nurture those around you. I'm sad to think that we'll be living so far apart for some years to come. But most of all, I'm incredibly grateful that over the years, after we both grew out of our sweet teenage years, that we became the best friends I imagined us becoming when Mom was pregnant with you over 20 years ago. Danny, I consider you to be my brother. I've felt this way for a really long time now. You're a blessing to Dirtle and to her whole family. You bring out the best in her, and I mean that. I saw that the moment that you came into her life, she was herself. She lit up with you. Thank you for treating her the way you do, for trying to understand her when you don't, and for being a man of your word. Ray and Terry, you should be proud of the boy that you raised. Kelley, you should be proud of the brother that you have. You did an incredible job, and you can tell that he comes from a family that is very loved and who loves him very much. I thank you for all you've taught him. So, with tears in my eyes, I'd like to raise a toast to the bride and groom, to Christina, Dirtle, and Danny.
Well, thank you to the best man, the maid of honor. Grateful for Barry for the opening prayer. Appreciate that. We're going to have dinner served here in a few minutes. Enjoy your meals, and I will be back, that's for sure. So eat, and when I feel like it's the time, when the heart rate starts to go up, we'll get things rolling again. But thank you for those great speeches. I do want to make one thing clear, if nobody got it. Darling, Dirtle, it's an evolution. Darling, Dirtle. Get it? Some stupid brother figured that one out. Anyways, enjoy your meals, and we'll be back.